York County is so much more than just a stop for gas along I-80. 17 County is filled with unique individuals with unique stories, just wanting to be told.
Welcome to another episode of 17 County Podcast, where we spotlight the people, projects, and progress powering growth across our region. From business expansion to community revitalization, we bring you behind the scenes of what's shaping our future. We're proud to recognize the organizations that make this podcast possible. A special thank you to the dedicated stakeholders investing in local impact. Central Valley Ag, Clutie Incorporated, Overland Ready Mix, Collins Aerospace, Meade Lumber Company, and Perennial Public Power District. We're also grateful for the continued support of our financial stakeholders, Henderson State Bank, Midwest Bank, and York State Bank, who help drive business sustainability across the county. Empowering innovation and reliability behind the scenes, we recognize K-Junction, OPPD, and Nebraska Public Power District. Your support fuels the stories we share and the future we're building together. Now, let's get into today's episode. Today, we're sitting down with Sebastian, a York native and current intern for the city of York. He's a recent York High School graduate and now is heading back into his second year at Wayne State College. Sebastian brings a fresh perspective as someone who grew up here, went through the local school system, and now is working inside city operations. We'll talk about what it's like to grow up in York, the experiences that shaped him, and why our community is such a great place for families. Plus, we'll look ahead to his future goals and see how his experiences here might guide his next steps. All right, so thank you, Sebastian, for joining me today. I know that you have a lot going on, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, of course.
So let's take it all the way back. Let's go back to your high school days. You're at York High School. What are you doing?
Oh, in high school, high school was a transformative experience for me. At first, I was a quiet kid, and that kind of transformed me into who I am now. Over the time, I got more ambitious, I'd say. You can only go up. So high school was a great time for me. I did a lot of learning and self-reflection, and it's kind of made me who I am now, and I'm proud that I've kind of come where I am at.
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah. Very cool to see. I know that you were relatively involved. So let's talk about the legendary one-act program with the amazing Becky Stair.
Yeah, Becky Stair. I swear, she can do magic. My entire time there, she could transform any script into just gold. It was an honor to work with her, because even now that I'm in college, there are people that did one act and I can relate with them about it. And talking about me being from York, it kind of gives me some, wiggle room to move the conversation. But my time in one act was probably, one of my most favorite moments of high school.
Yeah, and what did you do? There's so many roles.
So at first, I didn't join my first year. My first year during one act, I didn't know about it. But the second semester, my freshman year, I had a friend named Caden Ost. He told me that there was even though I missed out on one act, there was still this thing called the musical. Mm-hmm. And so we do during the second semester of every year. So I ended up joining the musical my freshman year, and I was a spotlight, I believe, in lights and sound. I was no actor, Mm-hmm. And from there, I did one act after. So my sophomore and junior year, I did other tasks like soundboard, audio board, whatever. Mm-hmm. And my senior year, I ended up being co-captain with Ike Colburn. Really, he's a prodigy. He really is.
Amazing.
And I'm really glad that I had him as my co-captain. But Yeah,
very cool. And I don't think, you go to a one-act show, I don't think you realize all the stuff that goes into it.
For sure, behind the scenes, being part of lights and sound, there's a lot of things you don't see that make it into the show, and it's a lot of work. We're in the back, we're wearing black. Yep. We're supposed to be invisible. And, the actors that I've worked with have always been appreciative and always been supportive of everyone behind the scenes. So,
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing culture.
Yeah.
Another thing that you were involved with that is unique, I think a lot of people don't know about it, is esports.
Esports, yeah. My junior year, it first got started. And I didn't enjoy my junior year. I heard so much buzz about it because this was like post-COVID. Everyone kind of had a little gaming kind of frenzy at the time. It was because no one had anything better to do. And post-COVID, that was a kind of trend going on. So I heard everything about it, and the next year came around. And there was this new part of the esports team about Overwatch. And I had kind of advocated about it the year before, like we should add this to the roster, and they did. Neat. So me and a bunch of friends got together. We ended up being on the team. There were 5 of us in total, and we ended up making it to state. And that was an experience we didn't really expect to happen. RC, we lost one of our games, so we were the lowest seed out of the top 4. And, we expected going in that we were just going to get rolled or, we weren't going to get far. But we had a really positive mindset. We were there to have fun, and we ended up winning, and that was something that really baffled all of us, really. So.
No, that's amazing. And I mean, esports is such a new thing that I don't think a lot of people know anything about it. So how does it work? Do you guys practice somewhere? Or
yes,
how does that all look?
Whenever I bring up esports, people are always confused about what it is. Even just like knowing what esports means, that can be kind of, bringing that up, it's always kind of a barrier to kind of introduce that or make it seem legitimate, because a lot of people see it as like a secondary type of thing, not a real sport, I guess. But how practice looks like, we usually get together in high school, we met up once or twice a week, as much as we could. Or in our free time, we would just play together, practice, kind of go over what we need to improve on. We look over our footage, and we would critique ourselves and try to push ourselves to be more aware. A lot of them are strategy based. Sure. So it's not it's not as instantaneous as you think. It's more kind of like a long-term thought.
So you mentioned recording. Do you record your practices as well as actual competitions, or how does that work?
Actually, yeah, we do. A lot of colleges, what they'll do is they'll record their games and they stream it, or they like archive it, and we'll go back and look at it. Sometimes we'll even look at other teams to see what they're doing, what they're running, what their kind of feel is, so we can prepare ourselves to go against them. As I mentioned, Ike Colburn, during one act, me and him were co-captains. He was also on the esports team, and he really pushed us forward stats-wise. He brought up other teams' ranks. He would always kind of keep us on page. And I'm really thankful that, I had him around for both of those clubs, because he really puts his all into it.
That's amazing. And that's really cool to see in a high schooler. That doesn't always happen. So you alluded to it.
Yeah.
College,
yeah.
It didn't stop in high school. You kept going.
It did not stop in high school. Before I went to college, I reached out to a lot of people because I wanted to be ready. I am a curious person, and that really helps me a lot in these type of instances. So I reached out to people like Brian Begley, Drew, and just a bunch of other people about what should I expect? What am I going into? And the two kind of favorites I ran into was the college program for theater and the college program for esports. So I kind of continued my high school kind of clubs through that. And getting into esports, I reached out to Drew and I asked him, hey, this is what I've done. What can I expect from Wayne? And me and him talked, and he liked what I brought to the table, and I got signed pretty quick before I even went to it was during registration when I got signed. Okay. So it was really early on that I was in the circle. So
that's very cool. Yeah. Very cool. And you're at Wayne, right?
Yep.
And what has that experience been like as a whole?
So Wayne State is a pretty small college, and that is beneficial in a lot of ways. All my teachers, they're really supportive, and you can really feel how much they care about their job. Wow. And, if I want to go to any class, it's like a 5-minute walk. Yeah. So it saves me a lot of time. And since the college it's not too small where like you're stuck running into the same people every day. Mm-hmm. Every time I go anywhere, I'm either always running to people I know or always running into new people. So it's always this kind of welcoming circle at Wayne, at least in my opinion.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what is your degree program?
So right now I am doing a dual major in organizational leadership and public relations, and my other major is in political science with a minor in public administration.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
In high school I did a lot of dual credits, so I've kind of accumulated a lot of them. I am currently at 60 something credits right now, if I remember right.
Nice.
So I'm just about getting done with my first major. So
that's amazing. That's fast.
Yeah, it's a lot of schoolwork, I'll tell you that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Today's podcast is brought to you by Black Hills Energy and Corteva Agriscience. Let's get back to the podcast. So you're going to school, you are doing your thing, and then now you're in an internship. How did that happen?
So I had a friend who recommended it to me because he knew I was into that type of stuff. I have always been kind of philosophical, or at least like political in a way. And he brought it up to me. He was like, you should try this out. This is something I can see you doing. And I was like, okay. I signed up for it, and I was thinking like, am I going to get the job?
Yeah.
The kind of paranoia that's kind of ate at me for a bit, because it's like, this is like perfect for me.
Yeah.
It would, like, if that opportunity passed up, that would be such a fumble. But I got the job, and I've appreciated every moment I've been at the city office.
Yeah, and what do you do? I know that there's a lot that you've tackled so far, but what all do you do?
Kind of like a typical office job, but because of all the other departments nearby, I'm always kind of changing what I'm doing, either through ordinances, inspections, billing, or confidential information, like that kind of stuff with employee files. Most recently, I've been working on kind of going through old newspapers, or at least our archived scrapbooks that we have from each decade. So that's what I've been doing at the city office.
It's so neat. Do you think that there's one story or one thing that stood out to you so far?
Like from the newspapers?
Yeah, I'm super curious.
The newspapers always, at least what I notice a pattern, is that they always focus on elected officials or the police department or individual stories or families. And actually, I should probably bring this up. For a couple years in the 70s, there was a section called the Gripe Pipe. So the Gripe Pipe was this kind of outlet people could go to and like voice their frustrations anonymously. And those were always really interesting.
Yeah.
And I can see why they probably stopped doing them.
Yeah.
So,
right? Kind of a free-for-all there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so I know you've been at the city or with the city for all summer, right?
Yeah, I started pretty much as soon as I left college. I think I started the 15th of... Oh man, when did college end?
I know, it's been so long.
It was like, I think I had like a 2-day break after college, and I immediately started working again.
Right into it.
So I jumped right into it, and yeah.
Amazing. And you've been around for some pretty monumental things like the comprehensive plan.
The comprehensive plan, yeah. That was a really big talking point for a while, getting up to that, the community's frustrations. It's really visible, especially today. A couple of years ago, it would be some like gossip, but now it's at the forefront of almost everything. People kind of it's what they need now, I'd say. Sure. is change. And I could really see that during the meetings about how everyone was on the same page of what needed to be done, or at least what the issues were. And that made me feel very self-assured about the path going forward. That's really cool to see. And you've had a unique seat at the table too, because like you were telling me earlier, you're pretty close to the front desk, so you see it all. Yeah, I hear everything. Like thin walls, I guess, but right. But either through public interactions with everyday people and their grievances, I'm the first on the phone sometimes. So if people have a complaint, I'm the first person they talk to about it. Yeah. So I've heard everything, either good and bad. Good and bad. Yeah. So you have been with the city once again for a little while now. Is there anything about your experience that you're like, oh my gosh, this was
monumental, this was changing me, like this was amazing?
Like what I've done there that's like crazy?
Or people that you've met, or, anything that's just really impacted you?
I'd say like the personal connections with everyone there. Everyone there has been really nice and really welcoming, and at first I didn't know what to expect. And it was like an instant click of, this is really nice. And I've enjoyed every moment there. Every day I go there, I honestly really enjoy working there. I don't go there like, dreading the day I have to work, but
Right.
I look forward to it. And
That's
I feel like the people there really make it matter.
That's awesome.
So,
I love to hear that. There
yeah.
are amazing people that work up there, so
Yeah.
I'm glad that you had that experience. So you are getting ready to go back to college. What's the plan? What's going on?
Yeah, going back into the kind of usual rhythm, I'd say. I do have more stuff going on than last year, considering clubs, NSLS, like National Student Leadership, all that stuff. I've gotten together with some of my classmates at Wayne, and I'm kind of participating a lot more in clubs than I did last year.
Cool.
With Lambi Payeta, I think that's how you say it. And we're trying to get Claws back into a club because it stopped being a thing for a year. It's civic leadership at Wayne State. It's a club that I think it goes on in the humanities building, but me and one of my classmates are trying to get that started up again.
That sounds like a cool program. What
Yeah.
would that all entail?
So they work with like either local businesses, or they try to like connect them with the students of Wayne State,
Oh,
or
cool.
at least kind of bring awareness to a lot of topics like advocation or public awareness. 1 year I know they taught English to Spanish speaking people for a little
Oh,
bit, so that
cool.
was some stuff they did for a bit. Oh, there was this big program they did for a while with local businesses and trying to bring awareness to something, but that's completely slipped my mind with time.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
They've done a lot of stuff, and the person behind it, Teresa Morales, really ambitious person, and probably one of my favorite professors at Wayne.
Okay.
So.
And what does she teach?
So my courses with her have been either with it was argumentation, interpersonal communication, and public relations. So
Interesting.
she really makes us earn our degree.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say
awesome.
a lot of homework, a lot of coursework, but it's really made us feel assured with what we've learned, and I could tell you about almost everything we talked about.
Yeah.
She makes class fun. It's really just the after that gets you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So we are going to move into a fun section.
Okay.
This is what I find fun anyways. We call it hot potato. So
Okay.
the first thing that comes to your mind, and these are going to be coming to my mind too. I don't have them written down, so bear with me. So we're going to go easy. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Oh, that was a quick answer. Do you have a favorite breed?
No, I've
Just
always
dogs.
grown up with dogs, and
Fair enough.
I'm a big dog guy.
Okay. Pop or coffee?
Coffee.
Yeah. Do you like the sweet stuff, or do you like it bitter?
I say bitter, but mainly because I've tried to avoid soda altogether.
Fair enough.
So that's a big achievement I've done, I guess, is
yeah.
staying out of it. So
That is. I wish that I could say the same. That's amazing.
quitting diet is hard as well, because you kind of go through shifts, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet or sour?
sweet.
Same. I
Yeah.
can't even question you. Yeah, same. Let's see. Trying to think. If you could meet with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be? I know. We're going to get deep. Yeah.
There are people I'm definitely thinking about, but I should probably say something like, oh man, I mentioned him a while back before the podcast, but there's this, I think his last name's Fletcher, but Mark Fletcher. He is a celebrity I've always followed since I was a kid, and even now he's stayed relevant, and he is always like been a good inspiration, mainly because of his ambitiousness and how far he's come and how he hasn't really stopped ever since. But
Very cool.
he's a inspiring person, I'd say.
Fair enough. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so we're going to get ready to wrap up the podcast. But before we do, if somebody is listening to this and they're, I don't know, interested in working for the city or want to know what the schools are like in York, what would you tell them?
York is a really, I'd say, inviting place. Every teacher I've had has cared about their students and have helped me out and really helped me grow. I look back to them all the time, and I wish I was more appreciative of them, but I know I was. So,
Yeah.
Oh, and the person I mentioned earlier, it's not Fletcher, it's Fischbach, Mark Fischbach.
Okay.
So I completely botched his last name.
That's
so,
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I know that I've learned a lot. I mean, I didn't know anything about esports, so
Yeah.
Thank you for imparting that wisdom. And I'm excited to see where you go, and hopefully you come back to York someday.
I plan on it. Yeah.
Awesome. I love to hear it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today we're sitting down with Sebastian, a York native and current intern for the city of York. He's a recent York High School graduate and now is heading back into his second year at Wayne State College. Sebastian brings a fresh perspective as someone who grew up here, went through the local school system, and now is working inside city operations. We'll talk about what it's like to grow up in York, the experiences that shaped him, and why our community is such a great place for families. Plus, we'll look ahead to his future goals and see how his experiences here might guide his next steps. That's a wrap on another episode of the 17 County Podcast. As always, thank you for joining us to explore the business leaders, community champions, and transformational efforts shaping our regional economy. A final word of appreciation to our stakeholders: Central Valley Ag, Clutie Inc., Overland Ready Mixed, Collins Aerospace, Meade Lumber Company, Perennial Public Power District, Henderson State Bank, Midwest Bank, York State Bank, K-Junction OPPD, and Nebraska Public Power District. Your investment doesn't just support this podcast, it strengthens York County's momentum in innovation, growth, and long-term resilience. Until next time, stay engaged, stay informed, and continue supporting the businesses and partners that make our communities thrive.